Happy New Year, everybody. We made it through another year all together. This officially is the second year of me doing the videos. 200 were done in the course of 2 years. As I mentioned in my last video, pretty cool accomplishments. It's very bright outside. I actually brought my sunglasses out because I wasn't sure how bright it would be. I usually don't wear sunglasses on my videos. But I have to. It's much better. Today's New Year's Eve day. I would try and film this a little later, different lighting, but you know, it's the only time I can fit it in. So here we are. I think I might adjust the camera a little bit. Is that better? A little more on the face. That's a little better. Okay, so last year I think I just did a video about all my favorite beers or brew days and just lumped them all in. And this year, instead of doing all that, I'm just gonna open up some bottles. Not necessarily my favorite bottles, but ones that you know, I think were enjoyable, and maybe some that weren't. We'll go through them. I got my Quail Hollow PGA Championship Tournament cups again, tasting cups. I did wash them. They just dried. I mean, they're a little bit. It looks dirty, but they're not. But they probably are. The first one's a 100% rye IPA. This was with Equinox and just 100% rye. And I do remember liking it at the time. Let's see, IBUs are about 70, 1060 starting gravity. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, aside from being 100% rye. This is my first brew in a bag also. So I did try this around, I tasted it on December 1st. I brought it to a birthday party, tried it with some friends, they liked it, and that was like 2 weeks after that. So now here we are again about 2 weeks later. See how it holds up. It is very, very clear. Oh no. Set that off to the side. No one saw that. No one's seeing any of this. Alright, so let's see how this goes. Yeah, the smell's definitely mellowed out. It's a lot more malt forward. The dry hops are almost gone. Still really bitter though. It has like a sharp, spicy bitterness to it. It is really good though. The dry hops unfortunately have faded, but still a very, very drinkable beer. Nice bite to that. That is wonderful. I might try another 100% rye IPA again. Try some different hops, maybe a lot more fruitier ones. Mix it up a little bit, or just do a little less hopped and more of a lager based, which I did do one other time, and it turned out pretty good also. But yeah, 100% rye, man. It's very, very, very solid. So there's not much really to say on that. I just want to see how it held up a month from when I tasted it, and it does. It does. So the next one I want to try is a beer I did with wood chips. I got some wood chips for my birthday, I believe. Let me look at the timeline of this. No, it must have been last Christmas, because I brewed it on April 22nd, and I split it with, I think it was cherry wood chips and apple. I think I put it to a vote on what I should do for everyone to decide on for me, and a consensus was cherry and apple. This has been out in my garage, by the way, for the whole summer, so this is probably very iffy, maybe overcarbed, I don't know. If I recall at the time, the apple and wood flavor was coming through pretty well, and I could tell them apart, but it wasn't like over the top, you know, it wasn't like this wood bomb to it. I added 1.5 grams of wood for each one for a 1 gallon batch, just Pacifica and stone fruit hops. And then 1058 simple grist, which is 2-row. I let it sit on the wood for, looks like about 2.5 weeks or so. Tasted it on June 13th. That's when I uploaded the tasting video. This is also very clear. Nice head on it. I'm not getting any wood. I'm not getting any of the Saison actually. That like phenolic thing that Saisons can put off. I use the WLP565 Belgium Saison 1 strain. I recall at the time, I don't think it was too much on the phenols either. I think it fermented it fairly cold. There it is. There's the Saison. It definitely has that phenol spice thing going on. Less Band-Aid, more clovey than anything. Yeah, a little more Saison than I would like on the taste. People who love Saisons, I think they would love this, because it's that pepper, clove, phenol thing going on. Not in the smell. It smells like a nice clean malt aroma, so the balance is there. But yeah, it's not my favorite, but I will say, you know, it aged really well. The wood flavor is gone if it was even in there to begin with. But yeah, it's just it's a nice Saison, and you know, it's held up really well in the course of 8 months or so. Okay, the next one we're gonna go to is the little more aged stuff now, meaning like I'm curious to see how this stuff tasted aging it longer. The first two I wasn't like trying to age necessarily. So this one here is the, I did 2 lagers, one with the US-05 and one with the 2124 yeast. And I want to submit one of the 2 or both to homebrew competition. The US-05 one I actually ran out of. But I did have 1 or 2, the ones I did with 2124, where I think was also fermented warm. And the one, the US-05 one won, not one award, it won, it got a 34, which is pretty good. I didn't lager it, and I fermented it, you know, US-05 temps. And this tasted on July 11th, yeah, this last year. It did have a bunch of diacetyl in it. Not a bunch, but some when I first tasted it. And that's why I didn't submit it to a homebrew competition. I did a lager, like authentic lager video. And in researching that, it was brought up that diacetyl can actually be reduced over time, just by aging. So this is, you know, 6 months old now. I'm curious to see if that is the case. If I recall, I did have one of these not that long ago. And the diacetyl was diminished drastically, and I couldn't even detect it. Now, that could have just been a fluke. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Everything else about it was standard. Saws, 2-row carob hills. Yeah, it's very simple. 36 IBUs targeting, 1054 starting gravity. So now, when I first bottled it, it was pretty hazy. Now is my also concern for the competition. This does not look that hazy to me, actually. This looks pretty clear. So, I mean, by looks pretty clear, it is. I'm not getting diacetyl in the nose at all. It's really enjoyable. Wow, that's really nice, crisp bite to it. One of the knocks I got for the US-05 one had a bit of a sour thing going on. This sort of has that too, a little bit, but it also could just be that crisp lager bite to it. It is really nice. I think now if I submitted this today, this would score well. And there you go. Proof goes to show you that if you do let it age for a while, the diacetyl feasibly could actually get out of the beer. The sun is going down now. I might switch spots before I open the next one because the lighting's getting all weird again. You got to do some in-video adjustments sometimes. Wipe the glasses now. Bear with me. We'll get through it. We'll be good. There we go. Okay. We're totally in business right now. This one is the, I did a party guile a couple years ago, maybe longer, and I didn't really document what was going on with it. I just did it, and then I didn't put it in my blog or anything. And then I actually did one, documented it, did a video on it. My friend Rob and I brewed it together. He took the second run off. I took the first run off and made a barley wine with it. It was tasted pretty good at the time, if I recall. This was brewed 714. So 6 months also for this one. His IPA already drank. He was trying to make some sort of white IPA, although he added crystal malt to it, so I think it was a white IPA. And then mine was 1097 Chinook, that's it. And IBUs were at 90. And I think it fermented down pretty good, if I recall, like to 1020-ish range. What's funny about this one, and I'm really curious about it, is that I have a bunch of wine that is being stored with some beer I'm aging in one of the Tresh freezers. I keep it at 55 as much as I possibly can. It's also my lager fermentation chamber. And we cleaned it out one night. I drank some wine and wiped it all down, closed it, and we left the probe out of the chest freezer. So there's no way for it to regulate. It just kept running down cold. Everything froze. We lost 2 champagnes. I lost 3 Cantillons. None of my homebrew that was in there exploded. There was like 3 or 4 of these barley wines. I'll show some photos right now. I took some photos in a panic. Just I want to document it. I'm glad I did. So yeah, this was frozen for a good week and a half. I don't know if it's going to change anything at all to it. It's carbonated. I still can't believe my homebrew didn't explode, but my Cantillons did, of course. So yeah, that is really nice and clear. So we'll see. Here we go. Smelling it's really nice, actually. It smells maybe hair oxidized. If it is, it isn't. It's maybe not. I think it's just an alcohol punch a little bit there. But some oxidation I would expect over time anyway, but it is very minor. That's good. It's mellowed out a lot more. It still tastes like a barley wine. You know, it has that punch to it. What I like about it is the hops are still there. So it has a nice punch to it, but the hops are really nice and, yeah, really coming through nicely. Yeah, that's really enjoyable. Malty, you know, it's big, but the booziness of it is lessened drastically. And there's a slight oxidation thing in there, more in the nose, which it doesn't harm it, I don't think. You know, I think over time these kind of get that anyway. But I'm curious to see what this is in another 6 months or so, maybe even a year. I might save a bottle if I can and just open it up because, yeah, it's really nice. So this is a special beer. This is one of the beers I had made for a homebrew competition. I made 2 of them. Well, 2 different beers. I actually totally forgot what the other one I submitted was. But this one was a weird Rauch beer, is what I called it on the blog. Smoked my own grains. I was pulling runoff for something else, so I added the dark grains in the mash after conversion, and recirculated some of it back through the mash to get the color. I didn't boil it. I just steeped, I think, for like 15 minutes with Hallertauer. And yeah, that's it. And it was biscuit malt in English 77 and special B, yeast of US-05. Let it ferment, bottled, here we are. I have not got the results of this back yet. However, a medal has been achieved. It has happened. My first homebrew medal, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this isn't a bronze, it's not a silver, it's not a gold. It is only an honorable mention. That's okay, though. That's okay. I'll take an honorable mention. I think the score on it was like a 36 or 37. It's pretty high up there. Now, off the bat, this might be a hair light looking in the color. Maybe that's why I got dinged a fraction. But I think it's in the ballpark. I know they can range in this from this light to more of an amber. I would probably say hair more amber and be closer to style. But this isn't bad. So this was made on August 25th. I submitted it pretty soon after that to the homebrew competition. Bottled it on September 5th and tasted it on September 20th. So let's see if the smoke hold has held up since then. Actually, it has. It has nicely. Yeah, it's not pungent. It's not in your face. Well, it's definitely there bacony smell in the taste. It's crisp. I'm not getting any off flavors. I'm not getting any weird diacetyl or DMS. I didn't boil this. I think the smoke level's good. It has a really nice bacony subtlety to it. That's really good. Wait, why am I not wearing my medal while I taste this? So, yeah, I think it's really, really good. Man, when I do get the results back, the detailed results, I will go through exactly why it didn't medal, or place, I should say. It did medal, but why it didn't place in like a gold or, you know, or anything higher than a bronze, I should say. I will say my favorite beer of 2018 is the sour beer I made with Wine Dregs, the Jumpin' Juice one in particular. I had one more bottle left from my starter. I opened it up with a friend, and we were floored. I forgot how good that was, and that was just a starter. I did bottle that starter after like a month and a half after it had been fermenting. Now they've been aging for a while. I don't know how long they have been there for. I'm going to say maybe 6 months or so, maybe 8 months. So we'll see how the long-aged versions turn out. And then I want to do more of harvesting Wine Dregs. That's definitely something in the new year I want to do. Speaking of that, I also have some plans in the new year. I don't want to give them away yet. One thing in particular I really want to do, I have been thinking about this for about 3 or 4 months now, how to execute it. I will divulge this idea in the new year. That'll be cool. That's the only thing, really major thing I have going on for the channel. Before I end off, I am getting married in 12 days, 13 days. I'm leaving for Maui on January 6th, getting married on January 10th, and I come back like January 15th or 13th or something like that. I will not be posting that much in January, starting from that point until maybe the mid to the end of January. So there could be a good 3-week lag in there. I'll try and see if I can keep it to 2 weeks because I love doing these videos. I'm also going to try and get some video footage of the wedding itself. I talked to the photographer and we're trying to coordinate how we get some video. I'll do what I can. I'm trying to put together like a little wedding video. I will probably be sort of vlogging it too. I don't think I'll bring this camera, but I'll probably shoot a chunk of it on my phone and just see if I can piece something together so you guys can all see that. I'll definitely post some videos before I leave, so stay tuned for those. But yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you had a good one. Hopefully 2019 will be awesome for all of us. Keep getting weird, and I'll see you next time.